That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Marwan coming at you one more again, my friend. Good to be back with you. Thank you for joining me here today. And as the title suggests, we're going to get into it. Got to talk a little bit more about the Central Park 4 plus one more. There are some people who would call the group of young men wrongfully accused and jailed the Central Park 5, but this character that I'm discussing here today, this member, this individual, I would argue suffered the most if we have to go ahead and measure it, by objective standards. None of these kids deserve to be in jail for that rape of the Central Park jogger. One of them in particular was only there being questioned because he decided to go along with his buddy, Yusuf Salam, not to leave his buddy when the police came and picked him up around their neighborhood. The police asked Korey Wise, the wise lion, if he wanted to roll with his friend, Yusuf Salam. And you know how we roll. We don't leave our friends out there like that. So he rolled with his friend, just being a friend. Wasn't even in Central Park that night. And that was the beginning of 13, 14 years in jail. Since that fateful April 84, I think, or 89? April 89 incident, where most of these individuals who were caught they were there till about 98, and it wasn't until 2002 when Matias Reyes decided to confess to not only that rape, but to a gang of others. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to highlight how sharp Mr. Korey Wise still is today. How sharp he is. I bumped into an interview where he was out there on 125th Street. Seems to be a couple years old, sitting there on the street with Red Pill and SaNeter in the background, and I'm assuming some sort of crowd had formed to listen to the wise Korey Wise, who refuses to be considered or named as part of the Central Park 5. He prefers to say Central Park 4 plus one more. They weren't in the mess halls with him. They weren't eating dinner chow with him. He suffered the most, ladies and gentlemen. 7 more years he remained behind bars, often in solitary confinement. 7 years. After the others were freed. What a travesty. But ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to listen to this because I'm pointing out different moments where Korey Wise refused to fall for the bullshit, refused to fall for the petty sucker chump shit in terms of the questions that were asked of him. Here we go, right here.
You have a documentary, you could tell the family about that, those who haven't seen it, but there are a lot of people who have seen it, so we want to get first-hand accounts, and we want to answer to Trump, live and direct. I'm just saying, we just want to... All I can really say on his end, good luck, you don't have my vote. No doubt. That's it. All right, so take his...
Boom. Now, did you hear how they initially tried to get him to... They tried to bait him in. They tried to get like a super fantastic political piece of commentary from Korey Wise by saying, yeah, we want to answer to Trump. This interview was in 2015, I believe, the end of the summer of that year. August 2015, it was uploaded and posted on YouTube. A few months before the election. These guys are asking chump-ass, sucker-ass questions. Oh, yeah, we want to get at Trump. They want to use him for some political points. And what does he say? He's got nothing against that man. All he wants to say is you won't get his vote. That's not the only time, ladies and gentlemen, where they tried to catch this brother on some other shit. And he basically was not having it. Okay, and I want you all to check this out.
Have you ever got a chance to see your accuser? Have you ever looked that white woman in her eyes and she looked at you and she said, you did it? Have you ever got that opportunity, that chance?
And you could tell with that question, he's like, have you ever looked that white woman in her eyes? That white woman. Right? And he simply talks about how, well, I'll give you the answer. He doesn't really...
Well, a situation like that really has nothing to do with me. That's why, as an individual, I pulled myself out of CP5. That has nothing to do with me. What has something to do with me is the NYPD and Letterer.
NYPD issue. It's an NYPD issue. What else they gonna ask him?
I should be apologizing right about now. But Donald Trump ain't even come out to apologize, huh? I ain't gonna make that personal with him. It just, I said what I said to him in the paper, then I leave it as that.
Again, you had SaNeter in the background asking, oh man, you know, Donald Trump ain't even apologized to you either, huh? Donald Trump ain't apologized. Donald Trump ain't apologized. And what do you get again? Korey Wise, a very intelligent brother. He can see through the chump shit. He can see through the sucker shit, the petty shit. And he deflects the questions. One more time. Let's see what other questions he deflects from this dude. Check this out, y'all. Again, about the white woman.
Heard of it, of officers turning their back on the mayor. You can't do that. That's unheard of. Let me ask you. How do you now look at the white woman? Do you have this bitter feeling? Come on, man. I want you to speak your feelings. All right, go ahead. Talk about that. No. That's not me. No. She did nothing wrong to me. No. She did not. Miss Patricia, she did nothing wrong to me. I'm talking about the white woman that accused you. Listen. No, it's a police case. It's police. The police made a lottery ticket out of this. They told her to hush, take your hush money, do you. Stay out the limelight. Stay out of it. It's a police case. It's a police case.
It's a police case. As you could tell, SaNeter again was trying to lure him in, trying to bait this dude, not only to get mad and get ruckus about Donald Trump, but to also start talking all this shit about that white woman. And at no point in this interview did this SaNeter or even Red Pill talk about the prosecutor. At no point did they talk about the fact that Hillary Clinton is sort of same way as the prosecutor and that nobody should be voting for Hillary Clinton. Suckers like this, a lot of them in the black community, seem to only point at Donald Trump when we have people that we've already voted for who have destroyed and separated black families already. This is why the election of 2016, I would have understood it if nobody voted or if everybody voted third party, because this, more than any other election, was probably the election where people sit back and say, I've got no confidence. But I just wanted to highlight the fact that SaNeter tried to catch Korey Wise at different moments. I think he wanted Korey Wise to sound like a sucker, to sound like a chump and a petty bitch. But we all know, as you all know, this is not a story or a case of Me Too. This is not really a story or a case of #BelieveHer. This is literally a story of the NYPD, especially given the fact that this victim, I think her name was Maylee, didn't even remember anything that very night. She was on the stand, couldn't even say it was these dudes, couldn't say it wasn't these dudes that raped her. So it's very important. This is not a case where we attack the white woman. You know, I prefer to take the same stance as people who are victims, because sometimes, even though you got Korey Wise there on the street talking to SaNeter and he's speaking as a surviving victim, there are other people who might not appreciate what this surviving victim is saying or how this surviving victim is saying it, and they will put words in his mouth. They will try to get this surviving victim to be angry, to be petty, to look at things that had nothing to do with their situation. And I just thought it was interesting. I think it's important to uplift Korey Wise as often as you can, the guy who never ever should have been there, the guy who ended up staying in jail at least 7 years longer than the last person of the Central Park 4 was let out. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to bring that to you here. Shout out to Korey Wise and the Innocence Project that he has helped to fund, which works to free so many different people who, otherwise would remain in jail were it not for DNA evidence. Again, DNA evidence that was sorely lacking against the Central Park 4 plus one more. Again, this is a video shouting out Korey Wise and any intelligent, wise individual who's not here for the petty bullshit, who's not here trying to make things personal, who's not here being a chump under Donald Trump. This is your boy Marwan of Mind Over Matter TV. Hopefully you get a chance to see when they see us, and hopefully before you get a chance to see when they see us, that you have developed a habit of seeing yourself in the most positive light. This is your boy Marwan. Love and light, everybody. Peace out.